Morning traders, it's Trades here. Let's see what we have in store for the day. We've got some news coming out. We've got a orange folder news for pound 9:30, then at 1:30 and 1:15, 3 p.m. We've got loads of news coming up later. And we also have non-farm payroll tomorrow. So ideally any traders you do take today, you don't want to be holding that on for too long. Let's get straight into euro dollar. So we have, we are in a bullish order flow. However, since last week, we have been in this bearish order flow. We have been making these bearish fair value gaps, bearish daily time frame fair value gap. We had this breaker block that was closed below, and price did come into the low of this fair value gap and held, which is obviously in a discount as well. I was waiting for the next fair value gap to be tapped into to look for support, but it looks like we found some support at this fair value gap. Price closed yesterday with this strong bullish engulfing candle. It came into this bearish fair value gap and found small resistance, but going into today, I would expect price to be bullish somewhat, at least take the rest of this fair value gap out. Then maybe during NFP, it might push back down to these lows somewhere around here and then find support. And then going into next week, we might be bullish. As you can see, yesterday, as I was saying in my pre-market analysis, I was either expecting price to come to this fair value gap. We also held, we priced us to displace, right? We took out this low at this daily time for a fair value gap low, and then price started to displace bullish with this bullish fair value gap on the 240 time frame. We got this pull back into this low, and then I was expecting price to come up to this high, but we came up, pushed above, wicked above that high, took out liquidity, and also tapped into that daily time frame fair value gap. But right now, my prediction is we'll probably pull back maybe down to this low and then push up, clear the rest of this fair value gap out. On the 1 hour, ideally I would like to see price come down to this low, take out liquidity, unless we start to, we've already pushed up, held this 240 fair value gap, displaced, and then held this fair value gap already, but we closed below that 50% level. So for me, ideally, I do want to see price come back and tap into this swing low and find some kind of a support. And that's euro dollar for me. I'm going to do a separate video on the trades that I could have potentially taken yesterday for euro dollar and at this high and at this low, which I just didn't take because I was just busy yesterday doing other things, and these things I missed both of them. So I'll be talking about that in a different video. Same with pound dollar. We are in a strong bullish order flow, but we came into this monthly time frame fair value gaps, consequent encroachment, so the 50% level, and found bearish displacement since then. We closed below this breaker block. We've closed below this bullish fair value gap, which turned into a bullish bearish inverse fair value gap for me. We came into that level again yesterday, held with this bullish engulfing candle. So right now, pound dollar, I don't really have that many predictions. I was expecting price to maybe come down to these equal lows right here and find some kind of a support, but it hasn't done that yet. So maybe if we don't even reach that level and start to displace higher, we'll be looking maybe for a retest of that monthly time frame fair value gaps, consequent encroachment, but that is way too far away for me to consider that right now. But on this, we came into the low of this fair value gap right here in this swing. This is the lowest fair value gap below an order block. Found some support, price started to displace bullish. We came up, took out this high, which was clear on the 1 hour time frame, which comes into a 60-minute fair value gap, which is another another great entry zone because it's above a swing. Price to cut liquidity came into a fair value gap, which is, you know, a deep in discount, and found some kind of a resistance. But yeah, as you can see, right, we have displaced bullish since here. We've been holding this fair value gap. We've held this fair value gap, and right now I don't really have a clear prediction for pound dollar. So this is something I'll just have to wait and see how it plays out, because I've been waiting for price to come to these equal lows. Hasn't. It's pushed up, though it's above the weekly open. I'm just going to wait for price to show something today, tomorrow. Maybe we will come back to this level before NFP, then drop, or maybe we'll drop first and then go up during NFP. I don't know. So for the pound dollar, I'm not really sure, so I'm going to leave it at that.